From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, August the 30th, 2022. Two Israelis were moderately hurt this morning when the car they were traveling in was shot at by Palestinians near the entrance to Joseph's tomb in Nablus in the West Bank. The two injured and three others in the vehicle were rescued by Israeli troops. The IDF bars visits to the holy site unless such visits are coordinated with them in advance, something the individuals today had not done. Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid said, "I wish a speedy recovery to the wounded from the shooting attack at Joseph's tomb and thank the soldiers who rescued the civilians from the scene of the attack. We will continue to act without hesitation against terrorists who want to harm us." Lapid adding that an uncoordinated arrival endangers the worshippers and the security forces. "I call on all citizens for your safety, follow the instructions and take care of yourself." Israel's Defense Minister Benny Gantz is in Japan, fresh off of his visit to the U.S. Gantz arrived in Tokyo yesterday, celebrating 70 years of diplomatic relations between Israel and Japan. He is the first Israeli defense minister to visit Japan in a decade. Gantz, together with his Japanese counterpart, Yasukazu Hamada, signed a memorandum of defense cooperation today, which Gantz tweeted will enable Japan and Israel to expand defense ties in the defense equipment, technology, and military arenas. Gantz met yesterday with Cabinet Secretary of Japan, Hirokazu Matsuno, and the National Security Advisor of Japan, Takeo Akiba. Gantz also met with U.S. Ambassador to Japan, Rahm Emanuel. Tweeting, the two held an important discussion about U.S. leadership and its role in uniting the international community to face destabilizing actors and tackling threats to global peace. This includes, Gantz wrote, Iran's nuclear program and malign activities. A Jewish man was murdered by his Muslim roommate in a suburb of Paris, and the Allgemeine reports that European Jewish organizations and French Jewish community leaders are calling on local authorities to investigate whether the man was targeted for being Jewish. 34-year-old Eyal Haddad was killed in Longpierre, Seine-et-Marne on August the 19th. The roommate then turned himself into police, initially saying that the murder was over money Haddad owed him, but then reportedly saying it was because he was Jewish. But so far, the authorities are not considering anti-Semitism as a motive. President of CRIF, the umbrella organization of French Jewry, Jonathan Arfi, tweeted, "We hope for information quickly and ask that all avenues be explored at this stage, including the possibility of the aggravating factor of anti-Semitism." Well, we bring you more now from the gathering in Basel, Switzerland, marking 125 years since the first Zionist Congress, where Israel's President Isaac Herzog last night gave the keynote address in the same place, he noted, where Theodor Herzl convened the original event. A formative moment, Herzog said, that would change the course of Jewish and human history forever. In his speech last night, Herzog spoke of the Zionist movement and the need for unity and mutual responsibility between Israel and the diaspora. He said, "From the moment of its establishment, Zionism was a movement that championed shared responsibility for our destiny. And today, as this mission rests on our shoulders, it is our duty to bear it together." He also called to reclaim Zionism, to reclaim, he wrote, ownership of Zionism every day as an expression of our own national Jewish identity, traditions, hopes, pride, enlightened values, justice, and commitment to Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. While in Switzerland, Herzog also recreated Herzl's famous balcony photograph overlooking the Rhine, something his father, Chaim Herzog, Israel's sixth president, did as well in 1987. Earlier in the day at Basel, at the first plenary, national president of the ZOA, the Zionist Organization of America, Yossi Klein, was honored for his and ZOA's work for the Jewish people over the past 125 years. Presented by philanthropist Dr. Miriam Adelson, World Zionist Organization Chair Yaakov Hagoel, and TV anchor Hila Korach. And Israeli opera singer Daniela Lugassi brought the evening to a moving finale last night with the Adon Olam prayer sung to the tune of Leonard Cohen's classic Hallelujah. Closing with Israel's national anthem, Hatikva, the Hope.
להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, August the 30th at 7 o'clock. Former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addresses the possibility of halting Iran's nuclear program, the critical nature of the U.S.-Israel relationship, the history of the Jewish people, and more. At 7:30, in addressing the question of why Israel, author Yossi Klein Halevi argues for a reframing of the post-Holocaust era, suggesting that Jews today should conceive of themselves as not a survivor people, but a people who defeated the Holocaust. At 9, part 2 of Mark Golub's interview with Tal Keenan. At 10, Rabbi Shmuley Yanklowitz uses rabbinic texts, poetry, and anecdotes to discuss spiritual transformation, changing the world from the inside out. And coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, August the 30th, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.